Hey everyone, Arthur Fantastic here, aka The Hot Shot, cause it's hot, here with Jason Mayhem Miller.
Please, Carlos Danger.
Carlos Danger, because Danger and Carlos are both of his middle names.
Fantastico.
He's fought in WEC, he's fought in UFC, he's fought in Dream, he's fought in Icon, he's beaten Robbie Lawler, he's beaten Valenico Vitali, he's beaten Tim Kennedy, he's beaten Egan Inoue, Hawaiian legend.
Oh, man.
And we are hosted by Gracie West Chase, led by Team Bamboo, by Head Ninja Bamboo.
Yeah.
It was a great seminar day. Thank you so much for coming in.
God bless. Thanks for coming, man.
Well, God bless you, brother. Thank you for letting me do this. How are you doing? How was your flight? How are you doing right now?
Good. Yeah, I'm very honored to be here at Team Bamboo, Gracie West Chase, Tampa, Florida. It's a very good gym. I recommend if anybody in the Tampa area definitely step in. It's such a good group of people at a very high level. You know, California is kind of the mecca for martial arts in a way, but it seems to me that Tampa has a very high level of martial arts, and all of Florida in general. You know, you see some good teams all over the place, but I'm very surprised at the level of jiu-jitsu here in Tampa. Everybody is very strong, knows a lot of, good variation of moves, little sprinkle of wrestling in here.
Yes.
So, yeah, so it's a very big honor to be down here and share some of my techniques from, my 20-year career of mixed martial arts. We focus on jiu-jitsu today, but a little sprinkle of MMA inside of there to make sure that the professional fighters get what they need out of it. But yeah, I'm very thankful to be able to teach seminars all over the country.
Absolutely. I'm glad. Thank you for coming out here. I've been hoping for a long time to see you at a seminar. Been a big fan for a long time. If you recall, I did I don't even say interview.
I saw the clip when I saw myself as a baby doing an interview with you, I think, and you as a baby, I think it was, with some very early 2000s video editing software.
Oh my gosh.
I was pumped. There was some deep fried memes right there, baby.
Thank you.
It was nice. It was really nice, and it's great to see still rocking jiu-jitsu and still doing the most you can for the sport. I really appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna play "Rocking Like a Hurricane" again.
Oh my God.
Because you came in
that
right.
That was my thing. I would always say on interviews. I was like, here I am. Rocky like a hurricane. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. I said it again.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
He came here right after Hurricane Helena, which actually was a little bit more than we thought was going to happen down here.
Hey, the burial mounds didn't save you this time all the way. Some people got 6 feet of water in their house. But yeah, I'm so very thankful that people braved the weather to do it. Hell, in California, I didn't know until I was leaving. People were texting me, "You're still going to do your seminar?" I'm like, "What?" Like, there's a hurricane. Oh, damn.
Most of the Floridians are like, it's just a 4.
Yeah, it's mellow. It's a casual hurricane.
So you were saying that we did a whole bunch of jiu-jitsu. You're known as a jiu-jitsu guy, quote unquote. You're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You've competed in jiu-jitsu tournaments. What do you think about the current state of jiu-jitsu tournaments, grappling competition in general right now?
I'm really impressed with the state of the sport right now. The fact that so many gyms opened, so many people became martial artists in the past couple of years, especially since COVID, I guess. People decided, they realized the power of martial arts and how important it is and how good it is for your physical well-being, your mental well-being. I think that that is a big part of the popularity that's taken off.
Oh yeah.
And I like I like to toot my own horn that I was way ahead of the game doing this when it was videotapes and we were, practicing in the backyard, on a cardboard box on top of the grass.
Oh yes.
And you had to struggle to get a wrestling mat. If you get the badass guy had a wrestling mat in his garage in those days, and now we have fantastic gyms all the places and
all over the place.
And I'm really impressed with how Craig Jones came up out of the shadow of ADCC and kind of took a lot of athletes in that direction and have forced the marketplace to pay the athletes a good wage and put on some really good shows. I really like it. I'm very I'm bewildered. I'm befuddled. I'm flabbergasted that jiu-jitsu is like finally taking its place in American culture the way it should. People are realizing the power of it, and it's better to know it than to not know it. I know in America we got a big gun culture, everybody want to shoot each other, but I think it's more honorable to give a guy a man-on-man, fisticuffs, and do a jiu-jitsu match and see who's the tough guy in that respect. It's much better and leaves two men alive at the end of the thing.
Right, we don't need a duel to the death.
Yeah, come on, I know. Back when they were dueling, it was like a musket with like one shot. One shot. So if you missed,
you both missed. You just shake hands.
Okay.
Oh, we tried.
Exactly.
We're brave.
We don't need fights to the death. I'd much rather have a jiu-jitsu match.
I mean, like when we did the last interview, it was 15 years ago. I don't even know what to call it. Is it an interview? It's a video we did.
It was like a weird video where you were chasing me around
I
the
was
parking lot,
dude,
and I was having a fun time with the kids. It was great.
If you take off my sunglasses that I'm wearing in the video, there's just stars. I'm just like,
that's cool. That's cool.
Mayhem Miller.
Well, we're back.
Like 15 years ago, man, puzzle mats in a garage. I think a couple years before that, it was like watching Craig Cookuk and Henzo. BJJ fundamentals.
Don't forget them Gracie in actions.
Oh, right.
That dojo storming with the Gracie.
Gracie challenge. Speaking of Craig Jones, you were just talking about Craig Jones, and it's a gigantic leap forward for grapplers and jiu-jitsu in general, even wrestlers. D1 wrestlers were in CJI. What do you think of that whole CJI ADC little thing that happened there?
I mean, look, it was a matter of time. I feel like because our sport is so niche, or it was for so long, that only somebody with like big money could come and take it over, and somebody who was very passionate. So I guess that was the Sheik back then. He had enough money to pull the best grapplers in the world to come have them display for him out there in Abu Dhabi. Now, good old Craig was got his booger sugar buddies to fund him. Yeah, his anonymous funders to kick $1 million here and there for him to kind of snatch up the talent. And I think that was a really smart move. It's somebody was bound to do it, and I'm glad that he took the risk and is now getting the reward. And it's interesting to see what will be the response from ADCC. Will they start paying guys more? Either way, I think it's good for the fans and good for the sport of jiu-jitsu to have these competitions and have the athletes get paid more and more.
I agree. Well, okay, so while let's moving forward on CJI, its rule set, it kind of became more wrestling oriented in that it penalized guard pulling. And there were refs that had, just to get you up to date, refs that were able to call stalling calls if there was stalling, and they would stand them up.
Yeah, no, this is smart. Well, look, I don't think that butt scooting's a good look. I get that there's a place for guard pulling.
Yes.
It's not necessarily bad, but you got to like push forward and like get into a position where you can pull your guard. You can't just like scoot around on the ground and do nothing. So I understand the rule set where that's stalling. You're just going to sit down.
Right,
that's
to your
stalling.
butt.
You have to be actively attacking. And so I think overall that's good. It's a sport, but at the end of the day, it's entertainment for the rest of us. You
Yes.
know? So we want to see the guys try to go for a takedown, try to get something, going where there's action. The worst thing you can do is even if you're on the top and you're just stalling out, that's garbage too. That's stalling too. So it comes from both angles to understand that you want to make the sport palatable enough
Yes.
for the casual fan to get into it. And nobody's gonna really get into it if somebody's just doing the sick dog pull your butt around the carpet kind of move. Nobody want to see that.
I agree. I've been harping on this for so long. Jiu-jitsu guys are saying this. It just seems like a way to game the system and like, you're approaching the fight in bad faith. You want to whoop the guy's ass and then you sit down and backward.
Look, I get it. If you have a very good guard game, bottom game, sweep game, you want to start on the bottom, fine. But you got to get close enough to him to be
Yes.
able to enter that situation on your own. You can't like sit down 6 feet from the guy and he doesn't engage, and then you don't engage, and nobody wants to see that. Come on.
In fact, that reminds me of Jake Shields versus Mayhem Miller. That's you.
Stalling.
Oh,
Stalling.
so much
Yeah,
stalling.
I get it, but it's a little different in that game. He was playing a game to win. You're like, if you're gonna stall, you stall, and the judges see the top position in mixed martial arts. A little different.
Control time.
Yeah, control time is a little different. I don't fault him for that, but nobody want to see that. But that's like that's up to the referee's discretion. The referee doesn't think that that's stalling, then it ain't. So the referee has a whole hell of a lot of power in that situation.
While we're on the topic of Jake Shields, everybody always asks you this. I mean, have you mended the fence? Is that the term with Jake Shields?
I don't know. I don't really hold any grudges like that.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
like
seem like
happened
the guy.
a million years ago.
Right.
So it's like one of those things where I get it. We're all pack animals in this sport, and I threaten their pack. So I wasn't expecting to be welcomed with hugs and kisses in a shiatsu.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that either.
I watched that live, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I was like, oh my god, they're gonna fuck this sport.
Everybody saw that. Yeah, we got kicked off CBS, didn't we?
I wanted to see that rematch though.
My
I wanted
bad.
to see that rematch. No, it's not your bad. It's their bad, dude. They fucking
Yeah.
jumped you. They literally jumped you on live television.
And I got fined for that.
I thought that was messed up too. Why did you get fined?
That's the business,
You're like,
bud.
where's
That's
my
the
rematch,
business.
bro?
They told me.
Switching gears here. I was listening to your recent interview on the Jackson podcast with Rampage Jackson. Holler to Rampage. Shout out to him, legend. You were talking about how
Greatest of all time, arguably.
Oh,
I don't
I would agree.
understand.
Better than John
don't
Jones.
Don't put him in that category enough. Greatest of all time, Rampage Jackson.
He doesn't kick people
I'm
in the
on
knee,
record for that.
and he doesn't poke people in the
Listen,
eye.
I mean, look, he was the champion at a time when
Dude.
it was Pride, and Pride was the biggest thing in the world. He was the champion. Then came to UFC and was the champion.
And he beat the Pride champions
that's
when
what I'm
they
saying.
came over.
That's what I'm saying.
That was crazy.
Greatest of all time, hands down.
You hear this, Rampage?
The forgotten greatest of all time, because you know what I mean. It got overshadowed later on. The sport got a lot more money and a lot more advertisement, so people all shifted to John Jones. But dude, Rampage is the original GOAT.
I agree. Oh my gosh, that Ricardo Arona knockout.
Buddy, I know.
Oh my
there's
gosh.
there's no highlight reel comparable to Rampage. Like, go ahead. Oh yeah, you can watch John Jones sidekick somebody for 15 minutes, and Dana will just go slob on the knob
Just
with the
glaze
thing. Oh
him.
my God, it's not that. But then you watch Rampage just knock dudes straight cold, slam people over his head. Okay, well, who's the GOAT? I don't know, John Jones.
He's glazing. You watch MMA Guru? You watch MMA Guru?
No.
I recommend MMA Guru.
No, definitely not. That guy's dumb as an onion.
He is.
I'm on record. But I like him.
But I like
Just
him
kidding.
too.
Yeah, everybody likes that guy.
He has such a great ability to do like impressions.
Does he?
Yeah.
I just hear the same guy all the time. This weird British voice. Oh my God. Yeah. He's likable. He's got the riz. I'll give him that.
He does got the riz.
He looks like fat Tim Pool. I keep confusing the two.
With a fro.
Yeah.
With a fro.
That's what I mean. I keep confusing the two. Tim Pool with a wig on. Yeah.
So-
And an English accent.
Speaking of impressions,
Yeah.
you were talking about on the Jackson podcast that people would hire you to impersonate other fighters in their styles.
I did that all the time. Yeah. I would like be the guy who could fake to be whatever guy you are gonna fight. Yeah,
You're
that was my
Mokujin.
job. Yeah, Mokujin. Yeah, that was my job. Yeah.
Or I don't know if you've ever seen the old kung fu movie Kung Fu Genius.
Yeah. I was like high IQ where I could pretend to be whoever.
Right.
Like, and I would just stay stuck, standing like Vanderlei, or stay stuck. You know, stand. You know what I mean? Who else? Arona, the Arona fight. I was the dummy for Rampage to like pick up and
Oh,
slam,
really?
yeah, but I almost got my head fucking rung a couple times.
Jesus.
Yeah, I figured out how to let go of him when he picks you up.
Right.
Or you're gonna get obliterated. Yeah.
I think that slam should be legal in grappling, and you should fucking let that shit go.
Well, see, the thing about grappling is the stakes are not that high where the money is not worth you
Getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think like the thing about it is like in the lower level competitions, okay, you're in there.
You're paying.
You're a paying customer. You want to go get your gold medal, right?
Right.
You're in there. You work your job every day. You're working a 9 to 5, then going to practice every day.
Paying for practice too.
You shouldn't have to be threatened by some dude who's training to be a mixed martial arts fighter. He's a freaking blue belt, and he just send you ass over tea kettle and slam you on your head, okay, on your Saturday, and you got to go to work on Monday. You know, that shouldn't, no. Maybe black belt level, okay, slams are fine. Okay, that's fine. But I disagree with you that in grappling competition, you should just be able to slam the shit out of everybody.
It should be like in the advanced levels.
Yeah,
and you should be being paid.
And hopefully paid to risk your head, to risk a slam.
Not to give you an anecdote, but I was doing this competition back 15 years ago, right? It was called Planet Submission, and there was a wrestler there. And you like pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you some pro wrestling questions in a moment.
Okay.
He did a giant swing on someone, let go of them. He flew in the air. He hit the announce table over and broke the table on top of concrete, like not on the padding. And I was like, this is the craziest sport I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, who are you talking about? That was in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was back then where people were like I'm winning this tournament.
Big swing.
Giant swing. You know what I'm talking about? They grab him by the leg and then you start spinning and then like Sakuraba type stuff. Yeah. But speaking of Sakuraba, that's actually my next question. I know you're a big Sakuraba fan.
Yeah.
And he was that a big impact? Did he make a big impact on your style and wanting to do MMA and all that?
Yeah, obviously. I was already a mixed martial arts fighter when I saw Sakuraba. But this style and technique was very inspirational to me. The fact that he would change his style mid-fight or adapt to the fight, it was very inspirational for me. Very smart, fighter, high fight IQ, and very creative, and being able to adapt to the situation. It really inspired me as a fighter because this guy's figuring out, and also a showman, showing off and having fun while you're in there. It was very inspirational to me, and later on, I got to go against him and beat him. It was very
Did you get it back for Rampage?
Moment. Yeah, that was a weird thing. That was definitely in my head. My bro had lost to him many years before that, and so I was like, I got to get him for Rampage. That was definitely in my head.
You definitely pieced him up. I was like, Sakuraba, Mayhem Miller, my two favorite fighters. But I knew it was like the young gun's taking it.
Yeah.
He was a catch wrestler. Did you ever do any training with catch wrestlers? Eric Paulson?
I got a chance to work with Josh Barnett.
Shout out to Josh Barnett, friend of the channel.
Yeah, many different training camps. I really appreciate him. He's like a real big guy who grapples like a small guy. Interesting, rolling to knee bar type stuff, jumping into submissions. I think, there's a place for that, and it's a very American style of grappling.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there is. You're saying that jiu-jitsu is getting very popular, as it should be in America, and I feel like that catch wrestling, that further step from amateur folk style wrestling, is missing from a lot of athletes that are going from high school wrestling, college wrestling into jiu-jitsu, and there's some pieces that they could possibly transition, but they're not able to. That's my opinion. I talk about a lot on this channel. My last question, I don't want to keep you. I know you got things to do. You got a life.
You gotta eat, bud. That was a long time of talking right now. And you just talked me into submission, bro. I'm tapping.
Last question. One of the biggest inspirations of you is you're so good on the mic. You've got this amazing charisma and this ability to.
Oh, thanks, pal. So do you.
Glazing you right now.
Yes, glazing me up.
And you're talking about on the Jackson podcast once again that the previous generation didn't really have this shit talker, but you were doing bully beatdown, and the bullies and
no, I got it. You got it backwards.
Oh,
I already was like talking smack.
Oh, you were talking smack. I mean,
yeah,
but
I did old what's his name? Sean. What's his name?
Sean.
What's his name? They always say that he's a freaking Sean Strickland. Yeah,
Sean Strickland.
Yeah, they always say Sean Strickland. It's like a little baby mayhem because he's all talking shit like me all the time, you know. And I'm like, I know, I was doing that, but it was low res cameras back then, so you know, it's the same kind of thing. You know, every generation gonna have a little bit, and I can't take credit like for, you know, making up the smack talk, Conor McGregor style, because, dude, it's always part of the business. The fight business is entertainment at the end of the day.
Selling fights.
It's fights, it's sports, competition, but you can't sell it unless you spit something. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if I had the inspirations per se. Like, I just wanted to be my own guy, and I knew that I wanted to say wild stuff, and I grew up in the 80s, so pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling, right.
You know, the great... Buddy, if you're going to talk that, if you're going to talk cutting promos, the best and the unheard of, like, I don't know why, the Macho Man doesn't get Randy Savage just said the best promos all the time.
Yeah.
If you're interested in this kind of thing, look up the cream
of the crop.
Of the crop, okay?
The cream rises to the top.
So you know, all right, but the rest of your audience might not know. The cream rises to the top. Cut that in there. One of the best promos of all time. I saw that when I was a little kid. And I was just bewildered, befuddled, gobsmacked even. And I was just pumped. Like, I was like, I want to be like that when I grew up, and I did. I did.
And he did.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the show again, bro.
Appreciate
15 years. I'll holler at you in 15 years again, all right?
I'm hoping to, I don't know, maybe even come out there to California, see where you're training.
Come on out, bro. Come on out.
Yes, it's a deal.
Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you sticking through the entire thing. I thank you for sticking through my friggin' talking.
You're the man, dude. You're the
man. Jason Mayhem Miller just said I'm the fucking man.
Yeah, you're the man, bud.
So you fucking better listen. Once again, Arthur Fantastic. Stay up, stay vigilant, stay locked and loaded. Shalom, shalom. Peace in.